Hey folks, Dave Parrish here at Knack Builders. I build for clients Knack apps for all kinds of processes. I also do a lot of training and support. You can see how to reach me in the details below. Also down here, if you could subscribe to my channel, that's always helpful. But today's topic, right here. How to match import. There's a couple ways you can import. If you have a CSV of records you want imported, you can just do a straight import, which will add new records for every one, every line in your spreadsheet. Now, matching is a little different. If you have existing records that have a unique ID, such as an ID number, an email, or things similar, and you want to update existing records, you can do that through this match importing process that I'm going to show you. It can do a couple things. Any existing record, meaning what is matched, your spreadsheet has an ID number, that ID number exists in the record in Knack. You can set it to match on that, and then you can set different values in your spreadsheet or default values to be updated upon your import. And if a record in your spreadsheet doesn't exist in your Knack database based on that unique ID, you can tell it to either create a brand new record, or you can tell it to do nothing with it. Now I'm going to tell you I'm cheating a little bit here on a video because I have a client. It's actually a school that every year has to upload, it's I think 1,000 or so new students. Every year changes the school year. They have they'll have a spreadsheet with all the students that will be attending. Some of those students were in last year's class. Some are brand new students. So this match importing is the perfect way to do that. I did a video for them on the process, so it's documented, since this only happens once a year. If something were to happen to me or whatever, there's a documented process that they can follow or find another builder for. But in terms of me cheating here, I'm just going to plop in, for the content of this video, the instructional match importing guide I gave them. So hopefully it's helpful. Thank you. Now we'll deal with the uploading part. Students in the back end. This has to be done through the back end, not the live app. You're going to go to students. You're going to go to records. And the first thing we're going to want to do is make all the current students for that are this year, we're going to make their enrollment status as inactive. So you click on update. And this asks, well, do we want only certain types? No, we're going to want all of them, so don't do anything here. Next, you're going to do enrollment status. You're going to make it inactive. Click next, you're going to run it. And that may take a few minutes. But once that's done, all these will be inactive. What that allows us to do is just all the current ones are now inactive. And we're going to do an update to certain types of students in the next step. But what this will do is any of the students that aren't returning, that aren't on our new list we're uploading, will be inactive. And that's what we want. So we've just dealt with that group of students. Now we're going to import. You're going to prepare your spreadsheet. Let's open this. For all the new students for the new year, and you're going to need all the important, the first name, last name, and they should be separated, first name, last name. And this spreadsheet gave me the student was, actually the mother wasn't, so I had to run a text to column that separates them based on the comma, but regardless, you're going to prep the spreadsheet where you have the first last name of the student, student number, the parent email, parent first name, last name, and if you want the other, I put this father, which was separated, the other guardian, if you want. So then this has to be saved as a CSV. You will then, in the students, we're going to be uploading this, so we call it import. We're just going to drop this in. And what we're doing here is not a straight upload where it's just uploading new records. We want to match. So we want to update the status of the students that are returning and the school year. So in this case, does the first row have columns? Yes. Do you want to update existing students or not? And yes, we do. This one's going to be yes. And what do you want to match them based on? Well, we want to match them based on the PSI number, student number. So this is the field from the spreadsheet, and the field in Knack we're matching it to is what we're calling the PSI or PSID. And then it says, well, what if there's a student on the spreadsheet that isn't already in our system? Well, those are the brand new students for us. What if no matching records are found? We can either skip it and do nothing or insert it as a new row. That's what we want. We're going to make that student new. We're going to click next. Then we're going to have to match the fields. And this is a little tedious, but you just do it. Student, I'm not even going to go through all these, but we want, this is what the Knack field is, first name, and we want the first name of the student. Last name, we want the last name of the student. School, we're going to skip. Or no, well, school we should have in here. You can either have it as a column in the spreadsheet, or we can set it as a default in the next step. School year, you're going to skip. We're going to set that as a default. Enrollment status, we're going to skip. We're going to set that as a default. PSI number is going to be the student number, and just go through the rest of these. These ones down here, past attendance don't need to do anything. So just finish those up. We're going to go to the next step, and it's going to say, hey, we're going to update all these records. We want to set some defaults, so they're all going to be the same. If you're uploading by school, like you have two different spreadsheets like we did before, you're going to say, whatever spreadsheet it is, you're going to pick the right school. These are important that we do. We can also do them after this, but it's best to do it now. We want to do the enrollment status as active. So anyone we're shoving in there is now going to be active. The new students will be active, and existing students that we're updating will be active. We're going to want to do this current school year, and you're going to select whatever year that is. Make sure it's right. Double check it before you submit it. Let's see if we have to do anything else. Don't worry about attendance status or any of these things. That's all we have to do. So we're just going to do these three. I'm not going to import it because I'm just showing you how to do it. So that will take a few minutes to import because there's going to be a bunch of them. Once that's imported, again, we've made everything inactive. So anyone who doesn't appear on this list for the new kids means they're not returning. And we want them, they will remain inactive after we change everyone. Any existing students will now have their school year updated to the new one. The correct school for them, if you're batching them, and their status turned to active. So now they're correct. And then any brand new students that aren't in here, it will create a new record for with the appropriate year and status. That's the process. Thank you.